Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And able to get this out to the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Here's Jackson to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Well, 3 and out to start the game would have been a real disappointment. So this is a nice job of finding something you think will work and executing it. And they're able to keep this opening drive going.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Now it's Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a 1st down, and he gives himself up there at the end. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Hopkinson in motion left.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 14-yard line.
This time Jackson will throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about...
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman on a touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Tyler Loop now for the extra point.
And the Ravens lead at 7-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away.
Gets around him.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time.
They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 4.
Off play action. Howard.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And he's got his man on the out route. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
I'm going to call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game.
Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start.
That's for Pittman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession.
And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Looking to throw. Howard.
This one into the hands of Metcalf.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Howard.
He's going to have the 1st down and then some.
And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Pittman's first catch, good for a 1st down.
Good for a Steelers 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Ravens' 14-yard line.
Looking to throw. Howard out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Howard. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. DK Metcalf. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
29-yard line.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Yet again, targeting and fighting Mike Andrews. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Jackson now off the bootleg. Henry's got it out on the left side. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now third down and 6 to go.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 12-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Jackson now. That's out to Hill, right side complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown. Zay Flowers from 8 yards out. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast. But a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it as we resume action. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. On the previous drive, he had the touchdown throw to DK Metcalf. Time to see what they can do here. 1st and 10 now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
Now a 3rd and 6.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
On the run, it's Dowdle.
And past the 30, down to about the 27. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the 27-yard line.
They run again with Dowdle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up second down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's 2nd and 3. In motion right, that's Metcalf. Howard, off play action. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Warren taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers are an extra point away from drawing level.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14.
Ties the game at 14.
So that drives 7 plays in length. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Jackson going to keep it. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 33-yard line.
Jackson options out left. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, 1st down.
That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
The Ravens on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Jackson.
He'll try and do this himself.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Now 2nd and 5. On the give, it's Warren. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Pardon, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They run here with Dowdle.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
He's brought down at the 31. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Howard. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 40-yard line.
Jackson.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Jackson from the shotgun. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now Howard operating from the gun. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain.
It's a gain of 11, and it's 3rd down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
To throw is Howard. Off the play fake. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Malachi Starks. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
And the Ravens taking the field. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. After the interception, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Steelers' 43-yard line.
From the gun, it's Jackson. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So the completion gets him just a yard. And it's 2nd down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Now an option play on 2nd down. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a third down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here is third down and 4. They'll get this to Flowers, left side. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On fourth down, on is Tyler Luke for the Baltimore field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Oh, nice move. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And here's Freiermuth again. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Back to throw. Howard. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football, so instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen with you from the EA Studios in Orlando. This has been a heck of a game so far. Just a field goal separating these two squads. You have to imagine both sides are trying to figure out how to clean things up, put some touchdowns up in the second half. Let's find out what goes on in the third quarter. Back out to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Well, the Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point, and now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time. And it's third down. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And the Steelers first down. A gain of 14. And a Steeler first down.
I just know defensively, when you see 3rd and long, you just tell each other, guard the sticks. Don't let them get to the first down line. Anything underneath will make the play. But you have to take care of all responsibilities and know that they swing it out to a back. One-on-one tackles in the open field are critical. And if you miss, sometimes you end up on the wrong side of that first down gain.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's another Steelers first down.
We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. A running play, it's Dowdle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Looking to throw. Howard. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 12-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Tackle made at the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll go with the keeper. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Jamel Dean on the tackle. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
2nd and 7. Here's Jackson to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game. And let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
Up the middle, it's Hill. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7.
Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play.
Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Tyler Loop now to try the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. So they're able to answer back here in the third quarter with a field goal of their own to move back in front by 3.
It's like watching a tennis match, isn't it? Who's going to be able to break serve? Is it going to be Borg or is it going to be McEnroe and one of their great Grand Slam epics? Go ahead and look it up, folks.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Play action. Now Jackson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That's multiple times now he's tagged them with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
A handoff running left. Henry trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. A give up the gut to Hill. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Steelers set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Final minute now of the third quarter.
And motioning left, that's Pittman.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe starts to call more blitzes, because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
His throw complete right side to the tight end Parham.
So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
5-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Second and 6.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a short gain down to about the 33.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. Back to throw. Howard.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Howard. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion. 2nd and 4. He's got his tight end Fryermuth over the middle. And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Rico Dowdle taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers have taken a 4th-quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
For the point after.
Boswell good with the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Ravens 20.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
At the 28-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That 2nd down play nets a -4. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes. Might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started. And that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Travis Jones makes a tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 44-yard line.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Off the play fake. Howard. And this one too low.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 18 on the play. And a Steeler first down.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And this guy can be everywhere. Kyle Hamilton getting there to drop him for a loss.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
To DK Metcalf. A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
This now a 3rd and 4.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This will get the lead up to 7. Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Again, it's Henry. And some room to maneuver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football and averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw is Jackson.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
6-yard loss.
It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A handoff for Warren. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
1st down, Steelers.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. That is caught. And he is going to have a Steeler 1st down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it.
That's another Steelers 1st down. A gain of 13
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. But Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second-half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers.
tough one for them to carry home.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.